Good morning. I'm Diana, and I'm here representing ITA, a company with Earth observation solutions for border control security. So, we hear daily on the news people talking about rising geopolitical instabilities, terrorism, and territorial conflicts that create the need for people to flee their country in search for better life conditions. But, and because of that, there is a difficulty in monitoring and detecting illegal activities close to the borders for the countries that receive these refugees. The solution is modern and advanced technology in border security surveillance that, based on Earth observation data, provides rapid and high quality information through a user friendly platform. For that, we have ITA, which for this project needs 200,000 euros, Earth observation and data analysts, engineers, IT and support services, and that intends to launch in April 2022. You can see here the ITA team. Unfortunately, my colleagues can't be present here for this presentation, but I will be representing them as well as the company. So, to solve this problem, this challenge that we are going to use the value creation framework, which starts with the first phase, discovering value. Here we give a company overview, we define the main challenge, we also do an industry overview, and consider the Sustainable Development Goals as well as the Paris Agreement and the European Green Deal, and finally define Kpis and initial objectives. To give you a company overview, we have European Space Imaging, which is the company that provides the satellites and the satellite images. They were established in 2002 in Munich, Germany. They are a premium supplier of very high resolution Earth observation images, and they provide high quality resolution imagery with rapid up-to-date information. In terms of ITA, we provide data for monitoring sensitive border situations in Europe and North Africa, and we monitor movement of refugees and locate camps near borders. Our core values are customer focus by providing customers with personalized and tailored services, reliability, delivering results that customers can rely on in a timely manner, integrity, operating openly and honestly, building trusted relationships both publicly and commercially. Finally, quality, providing the highest quality service to customers. We have as our mission to create a more measured border security control and monitoring high traffic migration areas. We want to reduce the number of illegal immigrants entering illegally into countries. We want to reduce the death tolls of human lives and increase internal security by preventing cross-border crime. We identified as our main challenge to find the most attractive geographical market to launch Earth observation border security control. Just to give a quick industry overview, the global market for border security systems is projected to reach $51.4 billion by 2024. The compound annual growth rate of the industry is bigger than 7%. Also, advanced technology pushing forward the use surveillance aircraft, patrol aircraft, ground attack helicopters, marine vessels, and submarines for border security are expected to drive the growth of the market. The fastest growing or largest region is the Asian Pacific market, which is expected to grow at the highest rate due to increased investment in regards to strengthening the surveillance and weapon guidance capabilities by China, India, and Japan, and increased spending of governments to tackle terrorism attacks, infiltration, illegal immigration, and criminal activities. The border security market is segmented by platform, land, air, and sea, and geography. North America, South America, Asia Pacific, Europe, and Mideast and Africa. This market pertains to automatic security systems that are utilized for protecting country borders against illegal movement of people, weapons, drugs, contraband, and terrorism threats in order to maintain national sovereignty. Like I told you before, ITA takes into consideration the Sustainable Development Goals, and we defined as the main ones the no poverty, which takes into consideration, and it's more related to our project in terms of target 1.5 and target 1.b. Good health and well-being with target 3.c and 3d. Reduce inequalities with target 10.7. Peace, justice, and strong institutions with target 16.2 and 16.8. We also take into consideration the Paris Agreement with Article 9, 10, and 11 that take into consideration matters that are related to financial and technological aspects. And ITA offers innovative technology that is always in development in order to become the best at solving problems that demand its use, just like the ones that are stated in the Paris Agreement. So also very related to innovation. Finally, we also take into consideration the European Green Deal, with research and innovation driving transformative change being the main topic related to our project. There will be a new wave of research and innovation partnerships under Horizon Europe. Partnerships will help drive the huge transformation in environment, society, and the economy that the European Green Deal calls for, and our startup has just the right technology to help in this process. Now moving forward to the KPIs and initial objectives, we divided them into 4 categories: project process, project output, short-term, and long-term. Project process is mainly related to our team and what we want to take out of this project for ourselves, what we want to learn from it, and how we want to do it. Project output it's what we want to do in the end, how we want our project to turn out, and if we are able to complete all of them. Short-term and long-term are self-explanatory. The SWOT analysis, so strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Our main strength is that we have unmanned technology that allows for more stringent and control with less manpower. We provide more measured border security controls both at domestic and international level. We allow government officials and human rights activists alike to monitor sensitive border situations, to react accordingly with real-time footage. And we have automatic security systems that are utilized for protecting country borders against the illegal movement of people, weapons, drugs, contraband, and terrorism threats. Weaknesses. Satellite imaging currently only pertains to sea and land, leaving air defense still uncovered. In ITA's specific case, we only cover land borders. Also, there are very high implementation costs for this type of technology. But we do have opportunities with rising geopolitical instabilities and territorial conflicts that are driving demand for advanced border security solutions worldwide. Territorial issues are prevalent among countries sharing the same geographical borders, such as India, Pakistan, China, India, Israel, Palestine, Russia, China. Advanced technology pushing forward the use of transport helicopters, amphibious aircrafts, marine vessels, and submarines for border security are expected to drive the growth of the border security market. And the Asia-Pacific market is expected to grow at the highest rate due to increase of investment in strengthening the surveillance and weapon guidance capabilities by China, India, and Japan. But, as always, there are threats. And in our case, the declining budgets for defense systems does not allow for some regions to make the techno-scientific transition from physical infrastructure, such as barbed wire and fences, to satellite imaging. Strict government regulations may not allow and actively lobby against enforcing this type of border regulation, and we have a highly competitive industry with a few large leaders. Obviously, the next step is to perform a TAOS analysis to try to overcome the weaknesses and the threats. With the rising geopolitical instabilities and territorial conflicts, government officials can monitor sensitive border solutions and react accordingly with real time footage. Although implementation costs may be high, our clients will be countries that have big economies and understand that high technology products imply high investment. Our systems are utilized for protecting country borders, and therefore they only have a positive meaning. So we don't believe that governments will oppose to them. Satellite images for air defense are already being developed, so we expect to have them soon as well, and market our service to other countries that don't have regulations against the use of the images and data we provide. We also performed a competitors analysis where we defined 5 main competitors, but as you can see by this table, only Leonardo was able to have all the characteristics that we considered. Obviously, there are differentiation factors in ITA, which are expert and personalized customer service. We are the only suppliers of true 30 centimeters resolution. We are also the only company who owns and operates its own multi-mission ground station for direct satellite tasking and local data downlink. We have rapid up-to-date information, and we plan collection taking into account the real-time weather situation rather than using the weather forecast. When it comes to stakeholders, we considered several ones. In terms of government institutions, we will involve them mainly in phase 4 and 5, but we will also include local and regional regulations in phase 3. Human rights activists will also be included in phase 4 and 5, as both of these are going to be our main targets. Data management with data analysts and satellite manufacturers will be included during most of the phases, with with satellite manufacturers not being included only in phase 2. And we have several supporters like technology investors, original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, technology solution providers, analysts and strategic business planners, and other financial institutions that will also be present throughout most of the phases, if not all of them. We did try to involve some stakeholders to help us with the development of the project, but we didn't get any responses, probably due to the high sensitivity of the information that should be considered for this type of project. Now, let's move on into phase 2, which is create value, where in phase 2A we are going to induce solutions, and in phase 2B we are going to induce filters. So phase 2A, induce solutions. In order to have a broader range of solutions that can be later on filtered, we decided to consider as potential target markets the 193 countries that are officially acknowledged by the United Nations. So our approach will be to brainstorm to identify criteria, filters. We wanted to involve key decision makers, but no insights were provided. And we will use also proxies, or so the go, no go, stop. Now moving forward to phase 2B, induce filters. We as a team brainstormed in order to come up with many different filters, as you can see, and they were divided into 6 categories. So government and legal aspects, socioeconomic factors, culture, competition, geographical, economy, public funding, and technology and company. On phase 3, we validate value. So we have phase 3A, where we select the ideas, solutions, and as we considered the 193 UN countries, these are the ones that we're going to keep. Then we have phase 3B to select criteria, filter, and 3C, where we rank these filters criteria that we come up to. So to select the filters that we want to use, we first have to go through the poker method, where we have kill, review, multiply, and keep. Here we review the filters that we came up with, and decide which ones we are going to forget about, so kill, which ones we are going to review to make sure if we really want to keep them or not, which ones can be multiplied and generate new filters that are also important, and which ones are we going to keep as definite. So on phase 3, validate value, ITA also went through this process of the poker method, and so we reviewed 10 filters, deciding to keep 2 of them and killed 9. We also killed another 24 and multiplied 2, ending up with 3 filters. And summing up the 3 with the 2 from the review, we got in the end 5 filters, which are ranked on the right side, as you can see. So first one is number of borders, second corruption perception index, third political stability, fourth GDP per capita, and the fifth one terrorism index. Now let's go into phase 4, capture value, where we have 4A value creation funnel and 4B concept prototype. So we applied the filters to the solution that we had, the 193 UN countries, and by applying the first one, we got 112, on the second one 74, third one 61, fourth one 24, and with the fifth filter applied, we came up to the final 5 countries that you can see down there: Afghanistan, Burundi, Uganda, Tanzania, and Democratic Republic of Congo. So on phase 3, we decided on the filters and the ranking for the filters, but in our specific case, and since we're dealing with border control, we aren't only considering one country's problems, we are actually considering 2 countries, which is the country from which refugees are trying to run from and the country into which they are running to. So we had to make a decision. Were we going to try to find the countries with the biggest problems in the value creation funnel and the MCDA? Or were we going to try to find the countries that are the most attractive to launch our product, our service? So in the end, we decided that the most logical way to do it would be to find the countries where there are the biggest problems, because that's where people are running from, and then find out where are those people seeking refugee. So that's how we got our final 5 countries. So in the end, having 5 different solutions, since we could only launch our service, our startup, in one country, how were we going to decide where to launch it? Well, first of all, we decided to divide our solutions in 2 different groups. As you can see on the top map, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, Tanzania, and Burundi are all located in the Central African region, and they actually share borders with each other. Then on the bottom map, we have Afghanistan. Then we evaluated the surrounding countries to see if there was one where people from these 2 groups, refugees from these 2 groups, would try to seek refugee. And after making this analysis, we wanted to discover the country with the biggest capability of affording our services. After doing this analysis of where people from these countries seek refuge, we came up with these 2 final countries, which were South Africa for the Central African solutions and Turkey for people running from Afghanistan. And to decide where we were going to launch ITA, we considered 2 filters, which were GDP per capita, once again, but in this case we wanted the highest value, and military spending. After checking the numbers for both countries, you can see that the one with the biggest potential is Turkey. And that's why Turkey is our final solution. Just to give you a quick overview of the situation in Turkey, they receive refugees from several regions around their borders. including also Iraq and Syria. But for our project, we are going to focus on illegal immigrants escaping from Afghanistan to Turkey. As you may or may not know, those that help on the crossing are smugglers that help these desperate people to cross the border, but never without a price. So they pay very high prices, and most of the times they have to continue paying their debts even after they enter the country. So our security system would be good not only to monitor this illegal border crossing, but also to control the smuggler situation. So there are two main crossing points for people that are fleeing Afghanistan through Iran, which are Do Bayazid and Özalp. Özalp is situated in the province of Van, the biggest one in the border between Iran and Turkey, and it's the local market that we are going to consider. Also, an important information to justify the selection of Turkey as our target market is that the government has been investing a lot in the security of the border in this area, and also it has been receiving a lot of European funds to invest in this situation. Now, just a small concept of Turkey when it comes to border situation. Turkey has 2,648 kilometers of total land borders, and they have borders with 8 countries: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Georgia, Greece, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. And it is a bridge between two continents, actually, so it is partially situated in Asia and partly in Europe. And a very important information that is 129,323 Afghan refugees and asylum seekers in Turkey make up to 15.1% of the population. Our main competitors in the Turkish market are TÜBİTAK, Space Technology Research Institute, and Turkish Aerospace. They have their own satellites, which are pretty well developed, but they do not act in border control security specifically. So, although they might move on into this market in the future, for now they are not direct competitors. In terms of segmentation, targeting, and positioning, our segmentation in terms of geographical market is the Van province in Turkey. Firmographic is government agencies and human rights activists, analysts, CEOs, commanders, rescuers, and researchers. And behavioral are low to medium technical knowledge. Targeting, we are going to target government agencies with low to medium technical knowledge located in regions with sensitive borders. Our positioning statement is: for all government agencies that seek to improve their border security systems, ITA is the solution that provides rapid, up-to-date information and high-quality satellite imagery through the latest Earth observation technological advancements, including 3D products, analytical tools, and imagery solutions. And of course, that a very important aspect of any company is the value creation. What value does the company bring to its clients, consumers? ITA promotes improved border control security through modern technology that enables very high quality imagery and up-to-date data. We receive EO imagery from EO satellites and border accurate imagery that are collected in a database, and we then perform the analysis of this data and give information updates and 3D visualizations to our end users, to our customers, which in this case are government agencies. So as you can see, we are both situated in the midstream and downstream market. Now we come to our prototype. So how are we going to reach our end users, our customers? Well, we are going to do so through a platform, a website where potential customers can get to know us better, where they will have access to information on how our border control solutions work, There will be the possibility to subscribe directly on the website, and there will also be contact information in case there's a need for further explanation of services or in case there's a complaint. The marketing mix, so the 7Ps. In terms of product, we have information updates on data from satellites and 3D images from the borders. Our promotion will be done through websites, by being present in conferences from the European Council and the United Nations about migration problems, through search engine optimization, and direct contact with customers either in networking events or through email and social media. In terms of place, our target market is located in Turkey, more specifically in the province of Van. We operate through digital platforms and software with user interface, and our headquarters will be located in Germany, used for management roles, research and development, technological support, etc. The process. There will be a continuous investment in research and development to ensure constant innovation and improvements. We will manage stakeholders' relationship through effective communication and troubleshooting, and we will maintain and update reliable and easy to use interface. Integral to our business are investment officers, head of communication and sales expert, human resources manager, financial and accountant manager, business analysts, software engineers, data analysts, and technology department. The price. We will have a monthly subscription fee with a minimal contract length of 6 months. And the physical evidence is the staff members and relevant stakeholders, website and user interface, office headquarters that are located in Germany, and data reporting and satellite imaging. Coming up to the final phase 5, consolidate value. We will define the 3 M's. We will create a business model canvas, and we will do the final evaluation of our key performance indicators, which were established in the beginning of the value creation wheel. 3 M's. Let's begin with manpower. So we have here our team with the different positions. So Pedro is the investment officer, I'm the head of communications and sale, Merv as the human resources manager, Nikki as the financial and account manager, and Rafaela with business analytics. We will also need to employ software engineers, data engineers, and data analysts. Minute. So until February, we want to have a business plan and a budget. We plan on networking with stakeholders from the beginning of the project until the end. We will have the recruitment process between February and March. Investor acquisition will also go throughout the entire project. Office opening and the start of the business is planned for March. It's on March. Review and adapt service offering will happen between October and December. Expansion strategy, we will work on it between November and December as well. Participation in events, we want to do it throughout the entire project, and the financial report will be delivered between October and December. The final M, money. We will need funding for our startup, as there are several expenses, like for example rent, which will range from 3,500 to 7,000 per month. We need to buy office equipment, which will cost us between 10,000 to 125,000 per employee. We will have taxes to pay, which are 15% in Germany. We want to spend between 1% to 8% of our annual budget in events and advertising, and depending on the type of event and target group, it will range between these 2 percentages. In-field equipment, we only provide data, so there are really no costs associated. And the salaries will be, for example, for the data engineer, 62,000 per year, software engineer, 60,000 per year. And all these wages are, of course, based on the average salary of these positions in Germany. We also need to pay insurance, and on average, it will be of 1,200 per employee per year. So, making the calculations, we will need about 200,000 euros minimum. Now we have the business model canvas, and let's start by our value proposition. We offer Earth observation data and solution for illegal movements through the borders, with rapid, up-to-date information and very high quality and very high resolution satellite imagery for governments, military, private companies, and research institutions. We have very high resolution satellite imagery that may come as a solution for demographic pressure, promoting the development of some SDGs, social stability, and economic growth. Our customer segments are government border control, who would be our ideal target and would benefit from the satellite information. Private companies, for example, military defense firms or human rights institutions. Research institutes as well for educational and statistics purpose. And we want to have a good relationship with these customers, retain it with the older user base and the suppliers. We will get more customers and more market share promoting our company in events. And we will grow, expanding our business to another geographic area and to other customers. We will reach them through email, telephone, official website, LinkedIn, and events. Although we also situate ourselves in the midstream industry, we are still a startup, we are still growing, and so partnerships with Earth observation data providers, suppliers, will also be important in the beginning as we have no experience and we want to learn from them. We also will want to have partnerships with Turkish government associations, Turkish research institutes, and Turkish military for cooperation in operations. Our key activities will be visualization and analyzing EO data and making comprehensive reports for various stakeholders, and we will be proactive and supportive with our customers. The key resources will be EO satellite images, websites for consumers and future clients, funding, and for this it will be necessary the intervention of investors, employees, software engineer, data engineer, and data analysts, and a physical location, obviously an office. The cost structure, so our expenses, we have rent, office equipment, taxes, events and advertising, in-field equipment, salaries, payroll, and insurance. And our revenue stream would mainly come from information and data solutions that would be delivered after the process of payment of a monthly subscription. Subscription-based pricing model would be the ideal way, with contracts having a minimum length of 6 months to secure the customers and get revenue. Revenue streams come from the client's payments and would be split to investors and the firm. Finally, we come to the key performance indicators evaluation. As you can see, we weren't able to reach all of our goals, with the level of satisfaction with the group work not being that high. Also, we didn't generate local filters. We only got there through the research, so this goal was not completely fulfilled. We didn't involve external stakeholders. We weren't able to identify possible investors yet, and we haven't, of course, found customers and clients since we are still in the beginning of the project. I would just like to leave a final consideration. The value creation framework is very flexible, and we know that not just Afghanistan is suffering from political problems, and it's not the only country from where people need to flee and search for refuge outside of it. So we as ITA want in the future to use this model to go back, look at our solutions again, as we know that countries like Syria, or even the ones that came out as a result, the Central African ones, are still a possible and important market to target. And because of that, it is also in our future plans to try and expand our business to those countries. So this is our future plan. And with this, I finish the presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much.